Make sure to like and subscribe to the Green Bay Packers fans channel. Today's topic, Raiders star Maxx Crosby could be open to a trade to the Packers. While Maxx Crosby, the standout defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders, has remained fiercely loyal to his team, he might be open to a trade to the Green Bay Packers, a competitive team featuring familiar faces and a strong chance at contending for a championship. A logical destination for Crosby. Green Bay Wisine. Despite never requesting a trade, Maxx Crosby could find himself on the move if the Raiders decide to prioritize a rebuild. If Las Vegas sees Crosby as an asset to be leveraged for future draft capital rather than the foundation of their defense, the Green Bay Packers would likely be one of his top preferred landing spots. One major factor that could make Green Bay appealing is the presence of familiar teammates. Crosby, a former fourth-round pick of the then Oakland Raiders, played alongside running back Josh Jacobs for 5 seasons. At the Super Bowl, Jacobs highlighted defensive end as a key position of need for the Packers and admitted to having talked to a few guys about potentially joining the team. Another familiar face is defensive back Casey Nixon, who shared 3 seasons with Crosby in Las Vegas. Nixon even took to social media platform X on Tuesday to encourage Crosby to come to a real team. Additionally, Green Bay's special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia spent 3 seasons with Crosby in Las Vegas, including 2021, when he served as interim head coach and led the Raiders to their only playoff appearance in the past 6 years. Rich is one of a kind, Crosby once said in support of Bisaccia's candidacy for the full-time coaching position. "I love Rich. I think he's the best man for the job. Rich is the real deal. He's a leader of men." Crosby's dominant career. So far, Crosby has firmly established himself as one of the elite defensive linemen in the NFL. While the Packers ranked 10th in sack percentage last season, their pass rush lacked consistent impact. Crosby would immediately change that dynamic. Since entering the league, Crosby has consistently produced elite numbers. 2019, runner-up for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year with 10 sacks. 2021, named second-team All-Pro with 8 sacks. 2022, finished 6th in Defensive Player of the Year voting with 12.5 sacks and an NFL-leading 23 tackles for loss. 2023, once again a second-team All-Pro, ranking 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting with 14. 5 sacks and another league-leading 23 tackles for loss. 2024, earned his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl selection, posting 7.5 sacks and 17 tackles for loss in just 12 games before undergoing ankle surgery. Notably, he had never missed a game in his first 5 seasons. Across his career, Crosby leads the NFL in tackles for loss, 105, ranks 5th in sacks, 59.5, and 5th in quarterback hits, 144. His durability and relentless motor make him an Iron Man in the league. Over the last 3 seasons, he has played an astonishing percentage of defensive snaps, 96% in 2022, 95% in 2023, and 97% in 2024. In 30 games over that span, a defensive lineman played 100% of the snaps. Crosby accounted for 23 of those games. Will the Raiders move on from their star defender? The Raiders are currently undergoing a transition with a new head coach, Pete Carroll, and a new general manager, John Spytek. While they possess the second most salary cap space in the league, their roster has multiple glaring holes, including the lack of a franchise quarterback. NFL insider Ian Rappaport recently noted, "The Raiders still don't have a long-term answer at quarterback and have a lot of work to do to field a competitive roster. Trading Crosby for a haul of draft picks could be a way to accelerate that process, and he might welcome the move, especially to a playoff team where he already has strong connections, like Green Bay." Crosby himself has sounded optimistic about the Raiders' future under Carroll, but remains focused on winning above all else. "For me, I'm an optimistic person. I want to be a winner. I want a chance to win," Crosby said. "From everything I've seen so far, it's been encouraging. Taking it one step at a time, and we'll see how everything plays out. But I'm excited for the future, for sure." Could Crosby push Green Bay over the top? Even with Crosby's potential availability, some around the league still view Green Bay's defensive front as talented, despite inconsistent production. One league source recently stated that the Packers' struggles were more about scheme and roles rather than a lack of talent, pointing to players like Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, and Lucas Van Ness. Still, adding Crosby, who turns 28 during training camp and remains under contract through 2026 with a $22.2 million base salary in 2025 and $18.8 million in 2026, could be the move that takes Green Bay's defense to the next level. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur has long admired Crosby's relentless playing style. "I just think it's his tenacity in which he plays the game," LaFleur said in 2023. "Obviously, he's incredibly talented, but I don't know if I've ever seen a guy that works as hard as he does and can sustain that for 70 plays. He rarely comes out of the game, and he's going to give you everything he has on every play." LaFleur continued, "He is relentless. If you think you have him blocked for a second and you let up, he ends up finding a way to swim you or maneuver around you and hit the quarterback. He is constantly hitting the quarterback, whether the quarterback's got the ball in his hands or not. This guy is a special player. He's one of the best in this league." Could the Packers make a move for Crosby? And if they did, would that be the final piece to push them into true Super Bowl contention? Stay tuned for more Green Bay Packers news.